Greggy.
What's up, Mel?
What's good with you?
We here Monday.
You had a busy weekend, right?
For sure. Yeah, we had V Hustle pro debut this weekend. 30-second knockout.
Ain't Hustle a rapper? A real rapper though?
No, I don't think Hustle was a rapper. I never heard that. I know he played a little bit of basketball. You know what I mean? Got some street fighting experience. Won an amateur fight. About 4 celebrity boxing matches. Then he decided to turn pro. He's 34 years old, so I ain't mad at him.
Yo, that's the first time I've ever heard that. Like,
Yeah.
had an amateur fight, had a couple celebrity fights. He's undefeated in everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And got a, like, how was he in the debut? How did that go?
It was good. I didn't like that he got caught with a couple shots, but I mean that's gonna happen. It's boxing. It was kind of the way it happened, but he corrected his mistakes right away and got the knockout right away. So I couldn't be mad at him. I mean, that was a great performance, especially for your pro debut in front of your people. You know what I mean?
Yo, V Hustle's in shape, bro. He big as shit.
Yeah, he is. Like a tight end or some shit.
Yeah, tight end, defensive end, one of them motherfuckers.
Real shit.
All right, G, let's hop right into it.
For sure. I thought you'd never ask.
Debo Dev.
Yeah.
Unanimous decision, dominant performance against Bryant Norman Jr.
Yeah.
Even dropped him in the second, hurt him.
Yeah.
You told people that this was coming.
Yeah.
They called you a hater.
Yeah, for sure.
What was going through your mind as you was watching it materialize exactly the way that you said it was going to go?
I was in the locker room with V Hustle, and there was a couple guys in the locker room that was going for Norman. And I'm like, yo, he can't fight. So when I see that first round, I'm coaching through the first round, I'm coaching him, and I'm just like, all right, good footwork, Dad. All right, I like how you stepping around him, Dad. I like how you taking your time, Dad. You know what I'm saying? They like, gee, he ain't doing shit. He ain't winning the round. I said, yeah, he ain't got to. It's early. It's a 12-round fight. You know what I'm saying? Dad threw 3 punches. Norman probably threw like a good 20-something punches. I gave the first round to Norman, of course. Dad ain't really give up too much.
Yeah, Norman won the first round.
But second round, he had Norman's timing down already. He got caught with a shot in the first round, but he had his timing down. Norman tried to bomb that hook. Dev caught the hook, came back with a hook. You know what I mean? All she wrote from there. Took control.
Stop you right there.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be a cardinal sin in boxing.
Yeah.
All right, so the lead up, Dev was looked at as a fighter that was devoid of power.
Right.
They call him pillow fisted.
Right.
They said he was chinny.
Right.
Norman was looked at as the dude who was this tremendous puncher at the weight class.
Right.
Dev hooked with the hooker and won the exchange.
Right.
Go from there,
because when you're an aggressive guy, when you're an offensive guy, you're not really preparing for a guy to fire right back. And it's happening, you know, at a split second. So when Norman is opening up for a hook, he not thinking Dev's gonna fire right back. Dev caught the hook, came back with a hook, chipped at him. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was all she wrote. He was buzzed from there. He was a little stunned from there. Yeah. And they circled around a little bit. Dev set up another hook where this time he sat on it a little more, really buzzed him. And he was so buzzed that he stood there in place, took like a couple stumbling steps, then fired another hook, but missed that one, but followed with a right hand. Right hand landed flush, clean. He went straight down. I mean, that's boxing for you. Speed beats power, bro.
You said that was the beginning of the end, right?
Yeah.
It seemed like Norman was very reluctant for a couple of rounds to let his hands go after that.
For sure.
It seemed to me that he underestimated Devon's power heading into this fight and was shocked by Devon's ability to hurt him, especially that early.
Yeah, but that shot didn't have nothing to do with power. It was the accuracy of the shot. He caught him right on his chin, Mill, and it shot. It more shocked him than it did hurt him. He was hurt, but I'm saying it was the fact that he didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? He was just thinking the hook was going to be the hook because remember he set it up with one hook before that. Yeah. So then to give you the hook and then the right hand, you're not thinking about the right hand. You thinking he just gonna throw another hook. So he caught that second hook, but he didn't think the right hand was coming. He caught him right on the button. And that's what I was trying to tell people. All you gotta do is get caught right. You don't have to be by a heavy puncher. You get caught right, you're going down.
Did this
gonna be hurt.
Did this kill the narrative that every fan thinks that the dude has to be this thundering puncher? Oh well, he can't hurt him because he's not a puncher.
it's not even really about killing the narrative, because some people gonna just believe what they believe. I mean, some people gonna see what they see. But in this situation, Devin Haney was just an all-around better fighter. Maybe he wasn't the bigger puncher, but what's a punch if you ain't hitting nothing? You know what I'm saying? So he showed right then and there. It started with his feet. Quick feet, but he wasn't doing too much. He wasn't giving up too much ground. He made Bryant Norman respect him without even throwing a punch. And the reason he was able to do that is with his movement. If you pay attention to Devin Haney, right? His movement is like tap dancing movement. You know what I'm saying? His feet constantly working, and he constantly moving. And even though he ain't going nowhere. And then if you take a step in, he take a step out. You know what I mean? Just that quick. Just that right there was too much for Norman, because he couldn't find what he wanted. He couldn't find what he wanted because he likes for a guy to stand right there. Dev was busy on his toes, that left hand working, without him even throwing it, just that little dip right there, that feint right there, that was throwing him off. And he wasn't able to find his shot. And that's why, like you said, he being reluctant. He was being reluctant before he got caught. The shot just made him be a little bit more reluctant. You know what I'm saying? A little more hesitant. You know what I mean? But Dev just all around better fighter, and that's what I was trying to explain to people. But sometimes I guess it's best to just let shit happen. You know what I'm saying? Because now people understand.
Did that bother you that you were just giving an analytical boxing assessment, and you got people in the comments calling you a hater, saying that it was because he had issue with Norman Sr., or it was because Norman and Boots, and all of a sudden your opinion stopped being valid?
The only reason it bothered me a little bit, because people was calling me a hater because me and his dad fought back in February and he got the decision. It had nothing to do with that. It was me clearly trying to tell people. But you know what? Back in the day, you wasn't allowed to talk to people outside of the gym about boxing or outside of the barbershop, because everybody else in the world, they just don't know. You gotta really understand. The reason the barbershop was an exception, because you would have fighters come in the gym, or you would have old heads that really, I'm talking about back in the day on Pete's on Shelton Avenue, when we used to go in there, them motherfuckers had a VCR, and you get to talking crazy, they throwing the tapes on. You know what I'm saying? you get to arguing about boxing, they throwing the tapes on, and motherfucker, we gonna watch it right now. So, you know what I mean? You might have went in there for an hour to get your hair cut, but you ended up spending 4 hours in the barbershop because we watching the fights in the barbershop. So if it wasn't the gym or the barbershop, you wasn't allowed to talk to nobody about boxing, because they just wouldn't understand. Now, it's free to the world, and this internet shit is crazy. Everybody think they know what they looking at, and they don't. This is some shit, boxing is some shit you really have to be around, and you really have to understand, you know what I'm saying? And it's, you know, it's a shame, but at the same time, I understand, because people just being told all types of shit. They listening to all types of shit. They picking a favorite person to listen to, and they taking it and run with it. If you know anything about boxing, then you knew Devin Haney was going to go ahead and take care of business. Bryant Norman Jr. is a tough fighter. He's I'm going to say B- level, C+ level type of fighter. And, you know, that's just where it stands. Devin Haney has seen too much and done too much for a guy like Norman. And it just wasn't going to be in his favor, because he didn't have the adjustments. He was too basic. Everything he do is basic. He telegraph his punches. His jab is sloppy. He push his jab. He slap with his hook, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? And then after he's forced to take 2 steps, he's not going to take any more steps after that. You know what I'm saying? He leaves his feet. His coordination is all off. He wasn't able to keep up with a Devin Haney. I didn't see it. You know what I mean? Of course, we could say, all right, could he hit him and hurt him? Yeah, that's anybody, though. And we saw that, too. Because the last thing we thought was Dev was going to put him down in the 2nd round. Nobody saw that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 2nd round, that shit was... In the manner that it happened.
And I'm going to tell you the truth. Dev was being nice, bro. It was a lot of shit he could have did to him. But we can't put no pressure on him when you look like that. But it was a lot of shit he could have did to him. You know what I'm saying? Some
people felt like Dev could have stopped him.
He for sure could have stopped him. Another thing, when he got him hurt, right? I think Dev was a little excited too, because Dev was like, oh shit, he walked up on him, looked at him like I told you. He took his stance in the neutral corner. And when he came out, he kind of ran right at him and got too close, and he got the bombing. Whenever you get a guy hurt, settle down, measure him out, go back to the body. Go back to the body, get the hands to drop, then go back up top. But he was excited. I get it. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to get him the fuck up out of there, and I ain't mad at him for it. But you got to settle down and get back to that body and get them hands to drop. You know what I mean? He would have got him up out of there. It would have stopped him. But at the same time, when you put on a boxing lesson like that, I can't be mad at you. You know what I'm saying?
Boxing fans, trainers, managers, promoters were very critical of Bryant Norman Sr.'s instructions in the corner in between rounds.
Right.
What did you see? What did you hear?
What I heard was he was trying to motivate his son. I never really heard like clear instructions. It was more like motivation. You know what I mean? He was trying to hype him up. He was, oh, he don't hit that hard. Go get him. You know what I'm saying? What you waiting on? Go get him. Put your foot on the gas. You know what I mean? Shit like that. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't really like no real instructions. You know what I mean? It was more like just go get him. It was like if you got a horse and you just trying, you like, yeah. You just trying to hype him up. You're not really, you know what I mean, telling him how to go about it. And I think that was one of the biggest issues too. You know what I mean? Norman Sr. sees boxing one way, and it's his way. And that way isn't going to work on that level at all.
Do you feel like he talked his son into a corner to where as though Norman Jr. was looked at as a young fighter that won a fight that the promotion didn't think he should win,
right,
and got to a world title faster than what people expected.
Right.
And now he's on world level, and then the Pop does a whole bunch of media,
right,
in which he's in storylines with guys that are a bit further ahead.
Right.
And then now, here come the expectations.
Yeah. He got, from my observation, I could be wrong, he got a little high off of all the attention. He was getting so much attention that he wanted to prove to the world that his kid is the next guy. He was trying to sell. He should have been in that gym getting sharp. You know what I mean? Making sure the coordination was there, making sure he was properly picking up his feet, making sure he was moving his head, making sure he was working on placing his shots, not telegraphing his punches. There was a lot that was missing. And I just felt like Norman Sr. was so excited that they had this opportunity. I think he was so excited that they was doing business with Turkey al-Sheikh. I think he was so excited that they was going over to Saudi Arabia and was the co-main event under Benavidez and Yard. I think he just was super excited, and he forgot that you're fighting a real fighter. You're not fighting a guy that's just flashy. That's what people think about Devin Haney, but Devin Haney's a real fighter. Devin Haney's the type of fighter you got to really get him out of there. If not, you're just gonna have trouble.
Where does Bryant Norman Jr. go from here?
Need to take a step back. A lesser opponent, of course. I would say bring somebody in that can help him, like really teach him some shit. Not saying Norman hasn't taught him anything, Norman Sr. Norman Sr. has taught him enough to get him where he's at, but if you want to get over that mountaintop, we're going to definitely have to bring in the experts, baby. And, take your time. He is only 25 years old. He could get back, but, it's going to take a lot of work because the cat is out of the bag. I mean, you see what he is. You know what I mean? It's not going to get no better than that.
It's funny how the narrative switched. It's like before the fight, Devin was pillow-fisted, he was chinny. And then Bryant Norman was this sturdy, super strong puncher.
Yeah. And
then literally in the actual fight, the opposite materialized.
Right.
And so is that what you be talking about where you like, we got to see these fights?
Yeah, you got to see the fights because you never know how a guy gonna react. That kid was nervous. That kid was nervous because remember what I said? He said, "I'm gonna kill you." Oh, that's a lot of pressure, bro. To tell a man, in a boxing match, I'm gonna kill you. So that means people looking for you to go out there and be some type of vampire. You know what I'm saying? And it just wasn't there. It just wasn't there. And the whole thing about trying to box Devin Haney, that was stupid. No disrespect, but that was stupid. You know what I mean? Devin Haney clearly the better boxer. Why would you even take that approach? I get what you was trying to do. What he was trying to do was save some energy. That's what he was trying to do. He didn't want him to go out there and overexert himself like he almost did in the Sasaki fight. Because they knew it would end bad. But trying to box him wasn't the thing to do neither. You know what I mean?
They had a face-to-face. Mm-hmm. And Devin said to him, "And what if I put you down? Mm-hmm. And what if I put you down? And what if I put you down?" And Brian was like, you can't put me down. You ain't got nothing in them gloves to put me down.
Yeah.
And Devin was like, "Remember that you said that, right?"
Yeah.
He catches him, then he stands over him.
Yeah.
Was that the lesson in the fight?
Exactly.
Like, never think that another man can't hurt you?
Exactly. And it happened so early. That was the surprising part. I mean, I thought Dev was getting later, like maybe 7, 8, 9 around that time. Because I also had Dev, if he would stop him, would be in the 9th round. I picked the 9th round. I was wrong about that. But I also did just pick Dev just to outbox him. But for it to happen so early, that really was the shocker. I mean, like I said, Norman was hurt for the shot, but he was more shocked, like, damn. And once a fighter get put down like that, they always feel like they losing the fight. So now you desperate now. You know what I mean? Now you put yourself in a position where you feel like you gotta get back, and now that puts you in a mind frame of you know, not being able to see clearly. You just going. You know what I mean? Because now you're like, I just gotta get back. I gotta get back. When really you was only down 1 round. You know what I mean? If you think about it, that was a 10-8 round. You had won the first round. That was a 10-8 round. You know what I mean? So.
They said to make sure I interview you after the fight.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, make sure you interview me after the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
People don't be thinking I know what I'm talking about for some reason, man. It's like, I don't know. But, you know, and I'm not even bragging, but, you know, I'm glad everything worked out the way it worked out.
This is the one that y'all asked for in the comments. They were critical of your take. You turned out to be right.
Both of them, not just one.
Yeah.
Two.
All right, so we'll start off with Norman and Haney. What did you say?
It went exactly, well, not exactly how I thought it should have went. I really still look at Haney like Haney under-delivered, in my opinion, because he could have knocked him out. He stopped trying to knock him out after Norman adjusted. Norman adjusted to that check hook by throwing 2 1s. He started throwing 2-1 combinations instead of 2 3s, right? So instead of throwing a hook and hooking with Haney, he started throwing like a straight shot, like a shovel punch. And Haney was getting caught with it coming in, you know, with that check hook or leaping hook. So I think when that started happening, probably in like the 4th or 5th round, Haney was just, you know, resting. In the middle rounds, he was resting. But I thought in the middle rounds, and I said that that's Norman's opportunity when Haney rests, was to like turn it up, right? But whenever Haney threw a 1-2, whenever he threw the right hand and had a home, he just didn't throw many power punches down the stretch, and he could have. But I think in the 7th round, maybe Norman hit him with something, and it might have made him, you know, think twice about, you know, walking him down. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Norman for being tough, but I think Haney could have definitely stopped him. Like I said, he just took the foot off the gas and said, "Look, I'm already up," you know, and he coasted for the win, which I can't blame him for. He the one in there taking the punches, but he could have definitely knocked him out for sure. But I'm glad that it went that way because you know, I really do spend time analyzing it. I'm just coming on here talking, so you know what I mean, it went the way I thought it would go.
The criticism, right? They was in the comments.
Yeah.
They was coming at you. They called you a hater, Philly hater.
If you from Philly and you talk boxing, it's like that. Just go with it at this point. I don't even care about that. And plus, Philly full of haters anyway, so you know, already know we got thick skin when it comes to that. So I don't even care about this shit, really.
All right, so in the lead up to the fight, Devin Haney was viewed as the guy who was chinny. Devin Haney was viewed as the guy that was devoid of power.
Right.
And it was kind of like a paradigm switch in the fight to where as though Norman was the one that got hurt. And funny that Haney broke a cardinal rule in boxing, never hooked with a hooker. And he hooked with him and he hurt the hooker. So the boxer hurt the hooker with the hooker's own shot.
Yep.
Thoughts when that happened?
Well, when you already know, like, you got some people play mind games. You talked about the build up to the fight. Some people play mind games and they try to get you to fight a game plan or fight against your game plan, right, by saying certain things. Like saying, like, you can't fight on the inside with me or you don't want to exchange, right? But them challenging you that way, if you're smart, tells you exactly how they want you to fight and what they want to do in the fight. You get what I'm saying? Norman's dad kept saying, don't exchange with my son. You guys don't want to exchange, especially after the Ramirez fight. Who's the fight before this? Ramirez fight when he was running. So they assumed, and that's probably why they took the fight, they assumed that he would be on his bicycle. But when you think about it, they gave Norman the offer for the fight, I think 7 days after he knocked somebody out. So why would they do that? You know what I'm saying? He knocked the Asian dude out. Right after he knocked him out, 7 days later, you know what I mean, they tried to, you know, get the contract for this fight. So that lets you know that they saw something that they liked, obviously, right? But they wanted, Norman's camp wanted to exchange with Haney. And you telling them that throughout the camp. Don't exchange with my son. So obviously, if I come up with drills where I know exactly what game plan he coming with, I can either avoid it if it's something that I don't think I can subdue or deal with, or I can use it to my advantage because I know what's coming. You know what I mean? So they knew that Norman wanted to try to catch Haney in those exchanges. So that check hook was perfect because at the end of the day, he used what his own deficiencies against him. Norman's deficiency is the same as Haney's. They both pull their right hand down when they throw on their left. So as soon as he went to go throw that left hook with Haney, Haney caught him with a check hook, a beautiful one. That stunned him, and then he got him out of here with a right hand. He thought he was defending it, but he hit him on the right angle. It was a short right hand, hit him around the temple, got him down. But I feel like they kind of tilted their hand with the over talk about not exchanging, and then you can even hear it in his dad corner. He didn't adjust either. He kept telling his son the wrong thing. Kept saying, "He don't want to exchange with you, son." But that's exactly what they wanted to do in the beginning of the fight. They wanted to catch Norman in exchanges to deter future exchanges. You know what I'm saying? So beautiful game plan by Haney. Even the delay, if you watch the first round, Haney ain't throw the jab like that because he already knows. Everybody knows he has a good jab, so he's pretty sure that Norman prepared with drills for like throwing overhand rights over that jab, countering off the jab. So he didn't even throw the jab. You know, I would have said throw something out there with no weight behind it, you know, off the back foot
to see what he would do.
See what he do. He ain't even do that. He's just looking at it.
I ain't gonna lie. I was surprised by the lack of jabs. Normally, Dev is constant with it. Where he
picked the spots. Like that was smart. You're right. But he picked the spots, but I kind of understood it when the game plan started to unfold later. It's like, okay, Norman's activity was based on the jab. You could tell that's what they planned for. They didn't get that. And then after that, it was the exchange. So the two things that they were looking for were, we're going to work off his jab and use that against Haney, and we're going to exchange with Haney. Once we get him hurt, we're trying to exchange with him. That was their game plan, and they took both away from him immediately. You know what I mean? So that jab at the end of the fight or throughout the rest of the fight, every time he hit him, head right on the line. Every time he threw a 1-2, head right on the line. He never moved his head, none of that. So Haney could have knocked him out if he just followed up some of those right hands with a left hook. He was hitting him with quick right hands, like he was standing left hand dominant, throwing quick right hands, but he never would follow up with a left hook or at least a shovel one or none of that. But if he did, all they had to do was put 5-6 punches together. Norman would have quit. It would have been done in the middle of the fight because he was hurting him every time he hit him. Norman didn't really have nothing left, and he had broke his face up pretty good. So if he would have just turned up the heat at any time after round 4 or 5, he could have got him out of there. He just didn't do it.
Did Team Norman underestimate Devin's power?
I think everybody does this in boxing, and it drives me crazy. Like, look, if a boxer who throw punches for a living all day hits you clean and you don't move your head, you know what I mean, your human head only 8 to 16 pounds. That's all it weighs, or 12 pounds maybe. Anybody can knock the shit out of 12 pounds. My kid can do that. A 12-year-old can knock you out if they hit you right. So when people say that you can't punch, that goes with an asterisk. Some people are not willing to punch. Some people punch off their back foot, like Yardy in the Benavidez fight. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that if I hit you clean, I can't hurt you. And that assumption or that hubris, that get a lot of people out of here thinking that you can't get stung and you can't get hurt. Some boxers don't go for the knockout. They just let the knockout come to them. Haney's one of those guys. Floyd was one of those guys. But as they said in the past, right? Run up on him if you want to. You know what I mean? So I think for sure he underestimated his power. And, you know, he asked his son to exchange with a fresh Haney. And that's even more so. If you're going to exchange with somebody, wear them down first, because anybody can hurt you if they clean and they fresh. You know what I'm saying? Wait till the 5th, 6th round, work your body shots. They should have had a body attack, which really could have helped. But when you look at who was dominant on the inside, Haney was fucking Norman up on the inside. Every time they got inside, he was giving him the business. So his quick twitch reflexes on the inside he was working him. So even if infighting was your game, if that was your fallback plan, Haney took that away too. So it was no part of Norman's game where he was strong that would have worked for him. You know what I mean? He took every strength and turned it into a weakness in this fight. So hats go off to Team Haney and what they did. They did what they were supposed to do. But yeah, they definitely underestimated him though. So did a lot of people.
I feel like everybody had an expectation for this fight, and it definitely went the opposite of what people thought it would go. Right. The general public. Brian Norman opened up as the favorite.
Right.
Do you feel like the promotion, the interviews kind of build Norman up to be something that he necessarily wasn't ready for yet?
Yeah. Y'all never seen The Great White Hype? Never seen that
yes.
movie? It's that all the way, man. You got to make it look good. For real, like for them to be coming off the Ryan Garcia fight, knowing they team know Devin's deficiencies, coming off the Ramirez fight too, to get excited and take that fight after 7 days of watching him knock somebody out. You know what I mean? They already knew, you know, like I said, and I think what's the dude, Mario Slater from Saved by the Bell, or whatever. He actually mentioned it. He said that, or whoever it was,
Mario Lopez.
Yeah, Mario Lopez. He said something about Prograde in the fight. I was like, and I compared his style to Prograde, an explosive, flat-footed fighter.
No, they got mad. They got mad at you for
people got mad at him for comparison.
Errol Spence and Prograde.
I'm not. When I say comparison, people think that I'm saying accolades. They start talking to me about titles and accomplishments. I'm talking about style of fighting, meaning the way you go about your business. I'm not saying that doesn't mean your propensity or how well you do it. It's just saying your style of doing it is similar, meaning Errol Spence is not a guy that's going to fight you on his toes. He's a guy that's coming forward like a Mexican, but he's more athletic than most Mexicans and has more pop. So, and he's a southpaw, so that's very formidable, and that's why he went so far. I'm not trying to come at Errol Spence by saying that comparison. I'm saying guys that don't fight on their toes and move a lot. Norman is one of those guys that's explosive and flat-footed, but also fights like a Mexican but happens to be black. That's what I mean when I say the comparison. It's not that they have the same skill set or same acumen. That's not, obviously that's not accurate. But so they were killing me for that comparison, but they don't, you know, context is everything. I know why I'm saying what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And if I'm saying it and I say it and it happened that way, obviously I saw something, you know what I mean, in those styles that would make Haney's team excited to take the fight so fast. So to your point, when you talk about them building him up, he's very charismatic, and that's good for you if you a B-side fighter. Not saying he's, you know, career B-side. I'm not coming at it when I say that. But I tell guys who are trying to get their name in the game is, you know, you need to be one of those guys that can go up and you know, attract people with your charisma. Like, I love what JYD does, right? Like, he got to follow and he do his thing. So I like fighters that take that mindset, and I like the fact that Norman does have charisma, because that's going to get him a lot of fights moving forward. He going to stay busy, and the fact that he was able to finish the fight on his feet, you know, this doesn't hurt him as much as a knockout would have. You know what I mean? The knockdown is embarrassing, but going to 12 rounds, you can always say you thugged it out, you toughed it out. You know what I mean? You pulled it out at the end as far as getting to the bell. So I don't think this is his last big payday because of his charisma and the fact that he went 12 rounds. So that's what's up. But they definitely built him up to be more dangerous for Haney than he actually was. Because if he was that dangerous, moving up and weight, you don't jump up and fight a champ. You go get a tune-up or something. They just went straight to it. So for them to pick him so fast, they was waiting for somebody that was that they was choosing. You know what I mean? They was waiting for somebody attractive to get the belt so they can move up and move the right way. They wouldn't have jumped up there if Boots had knocked out the Asian guy. They wouldn't have been like 7 days, let's get Boots a contract. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it like it was the perfect opportunity, perfect opponent to make him look good at this new weight. So now, you know what I mean, he is the name. And you see the reactions because Conor Ben immediately after the fight starts saying, we don't want to fight this, not this guy. He don't want to fight that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a style that maybe he feel like he might have trouble with.
As far as the Boots Devin thing goes, that was a thing.
I believe it, but that would have been a mistake.
But wait, I give you context. Boots was in negotiations with Teofimo Lopez, had decided that he was going to move up to 154 pounds. And they tried to make Devin versus Tio. Then they tried to double back and see, okay, can we make Devin and Boots? They offer Boots at 152. Devin's okay with it at 47. Boots is not coming back down, so, you know, the fight never got made.
Yeah, that would have been a bad joint, though. I mean, I like both fighters, obviously, but I think Devin's too small to deal with Boots. I don't think he could deal with Boots personally. You know what I mean? But
to me, the fight doesn't make sense because Dev just got the 47, Boots just got the 54, and both fighters look like they can grow into the weight class.
That's a money fight down the line, but I just don't think Haney is ready for Boots at this point. You know what I mean? I don't think he's ready.
Here with the man they call C4.
Yes,
Savage C4.
Yes, sir.
Right? December 6th, the return to the ring.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling about that, Qua?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm ready to get back active, get the ball rolling, hop into the new year, ready to go. Turn it up a notch.
How many fights has been this year? You only have one other fight this year?
Yeah.
And then you had the Team Combat League, and then
Yeah.
So that kind of like takes up what, like a half of your year, 1/3 of your year?
Yeah. It's about 3 months.
All right. You got a 100% knockout ratio. Still fighting at 147 pounds. After this, I know this is gonna be like something to shake the rust off, of course.
Yeah.
But after this, like, where do you see yourself in 2026?
2026, I see myself taking over, making a big name for myself. You know, I'm already like, I say like locally known, but after this, like a whole lot of people gonna know me. I'm gonna start popping off.
We're in an era where, of course, people like boxing, but people are always gonna like knockouts, right?
Yeah.
And you provide that. Nothing ever goes when it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Now, is that on purpose or is that just your natural style? Like you just want to hurt people?
That's just my natural style. I just want to hurt people. Before I was
McCoy, you a
boxing,
pretty boy though.
Yeah. I got two like, you mean
Contrasting personalities.
Yeah. Quadera, that's the pretty boy. Savage C4, that's you want bomb on everything moving.
Okay, yo, so your mom told me a story. Your mom said that you was the quiet kid in school.
Yeah.
And kept fucking with you.
Yeah.
And then that just flipped the switch.
Yeah, everybody used to fuck with me. I was just, out the way, quiet. They thought I was an easy,
Yo, she said you used to have the glasses too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So they played you sweet?
And I was skinny. I was like probably like 115 pounds. Everybody used to try to pick on me. Shit used to get bad.
Yeah. And that's what made, like, what made you want to box?
My cousin Nair Albright, like I always seen him winning belts and stuff like that, and I wanted to do the same thing, so I just started boxing.
So you just went to the boxing gym and...
Yeah.
All right, so she said after the first time you came home, was like, yeah, I'm going to be boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I said, yeah, I'm going to be a pro boxer.
So what about it that you just knew?
I just knew I liked fighting. Like, I just like fighting, so it was like a passion.
Did you continue to fight in school and shit after you started boxing, or did you have to chill?
Yeah, no, I continued to fight because people thought just because I was a boxer, like, oh, he can't fight in the streets, oh, this and that, and I wasn't going for none of that. I ain't care.
Hey, Quam, something makes me think that you just went to the boxing gym so you could perform better in school.
No, like I was already performing good in street fights. Like,
did you start to use the shit that you was learning in boxing?
Already, like I could box before I even boxed. Like I already had my fundamentals. Like I knew what a jab was, hook, a 1-2. Like I could always fight.
Did
like,
Nair teach you some stuff like just randomly?
Yeah, just growing up, like we used to throw the gloves on. My dad taught me how to fight, so I already knew how to fight before I was a boxer. I knew the basics, the 1, 2, 3.
Okay. What can we expect December 6th?
A crazy knockout, a beautiful performance, me just looking good, stylish while getting a knockout.
Okay, I love it. All right, yo, you caught a lot of flack last week.
Yeah.
You caught a lot of flack. You predicted that Devin Haney would thoroughly outbox Bryant Jennings.
Yeah.
You even said that it was possible for Dev to hurt Bryant Jennings. And then you said you really didn't see Bryant Jennings as a puncher, but you corrected. Well, you added to that, it's sparring, you got big gloves on, headgear, etc.
Yeah.
And people in the comments called you a hater and this and that.
Yeah.
So when you were watching the fight, what was going through your mind?
Exactly what I said was going to happen. He wasn't going to be able to cut the ring and land them big shots that he wanted to land. You could clearly see him loading up trying to land it, but he couldn't land it because Dev was too good on his feet. He didn't stay there for the left hook.
Did it surprise you that they traded left hooks and Norman was the one that was visibly hurt?
Yeah. It didn't surprise me. Like, because he went down before. He's not invincible at all.
I'm just saying, like, the one rule of boxing is you're not supposed to hook with a hooker.
Yeah.
And Norman is supposed to be the hooker.
Yeah. It didn't surprise me. It kind of did that he went down, though. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, it was surprising that Dev did put him down, though.
Some people felt like Dev was the one that was chinny. Some people felt like Dev was the one that was quote unquote pillow fisted.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the whole
Narrative
script
switch.
was just switched.
Yeah.
So what did you see just boxing wise? What was Dev able to do?
Everything he wanted. He had a beautiful jab. Like I said, the keys to him winning was a good jab and good feet. He had a beautiful jab. He didn't miss it at all. That was able to set the hooks up. Everything he wanted to do for real, for real.
Did it look like Norman Jr. was apprehensive to, come in and let his hands go after the knockout, after the knockdown? Sorry.
I feel like it was hard for him to let his hands go, period. Even if he wouldn't have got dropped, I felt like it would have been the same outcome. Just because he's not really that good on his feet. He's not good with boxers. And I know that from sparring him.
Yo, how did it feel for people to call you a hater when you're just giving your analytical
Like,
boxing.
I'm just speaking boxing. Why I gotta be a hater because I sparred him? Y'all think I don't like him? That wasn't the case. I'm just speaking boxing. I'm seeing what I know. I sparred him. I know what he good at, what he not good at. So I knew what Devin Haney was gonna do. I just wanted to speak boxing. That's all. Don't hate me. Don't hate the messenger.
Now, where does he go from there, right? Do you see him like staying at top level, like jumping into another big fight immediately, or should he, get a tune up and then
I feel
jump?
like he should get a tune up first, then jump back into them big fights. I feel like he could be a world champion again, though. The world champions right now, Barrios. I feel like he got a chance with Barrios. Who else a world champion at
I got
147?
him cooking Barrios, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Who else a champion at 147?
Lewis Crocker from the UK.
Yeah, I feel like he could still be in them big fights, though.
Now, where does Dev go here? What kind of fights do you want to see him in?
I guess versus any champion. I feel like he could beat all the champions at 147.
How soon before Quadir Albright's in that mix?
Real soon. I say maybe the beginning of 2027.
All right, so you got 13 fights now. So yeah, that about makes sense. Like you get you should be like 15, 16 fights in.
Yeah.
No shit.
I'm about to be 13 and 113 knockouts in December.
Yeah.
So by the end of 2026,
You should be
I should
16,
be about,
17 fights in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I say the beginning of 2027, y'all should see me fighting for a world title.
Is that a fight that you got circled?
With Bryant Norman?
Yeah.
For sure. That's for surely circled already.
Bobby.
Yo. Bobby Blanco.
Here with trainer / strength and conditioning coach Rob Acosta. What's good, Rob?
What's up, bro?
Hi, Rob. We just gonna hop right into a fight that me and you had covered fucking like 3, 4, 5 times.
Yeah.
Devin Haney, Bryant Jennings Jr. It didn't go the way that you expected. Devin Haney decisively beat Bryant Jennings Jr. Hurt him in the second round.
Go ahead.
What's your thoughts on the performance?
Like I said before, like one thing that I want to address is most of these people, they don't watch the full video of what you post, right? There's like a portion. But clearly I did state that Dev is the better fighter. He got the better resume. He's a better boxer. The only thing I was concerned about was what happens when he gets hit.
Yeah, punch resistance.
Right, punch resistance. Which the first round I had the scorecard 117, 110. That's what I had. The Mike Fitzgerald,
that shit was crazy.
that he needs to sit the fuck down. Like I don't even know what to say to that.
For anybody watching, they hear that sound in the background. That's Mango eating. his
Yeah, that's
bone.
my dog. I'm sorry. Yeah, he chewing on his bone. So now Dev did get hit with some shit, and you can tell he got it was the 10th round. He got hit with a dumbass hook, and then he got hit again, and Dev went back to his defense, his defense, which is going straight back. You know what I mean? And I don't think he should do that. Like every coach would tell you, yo, stop backing straight out, stop backing straight out. We either back out and use your angles or you clinch. It's one or the other, which he did. He did a great job. Overall, I am going to give my hat off to Devin Haney. I think they prepped great. I think Mickey Bay, Bill, and everybody else put a good plan together, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, shouts out to Mickey, man. Mickey don't get his credit enough.
No. He did a great job. He did a great job with him, and now all the talk about the snack shit is done and over with. You know what I'm saying? Victor Conti not here, and he still performed great. So it is what it is. I did go with Norman, so I am going to own up to that shit. But a lot of people saw the last video, the keys to victory and everything else that I dropped. So they all asked me what would I put my money on, and I told them Dev. So there's a lot of people that want bread on a decision. I didn't think Dev was going to knock him out anyway, but a lot of people want a decision. I just don't gamble because it's just terrible.
were you shocked in the second round when he hooked with the hooker?
Yo,
it hurt. You know that's
that
supposed
was crazy.
That was supposed to be. That's the top 5 rule in boxing.
Don't hook with a
Don't
hooker.
hook with the hooker.
Yeah.
He hooked with him, held the phone on the shot. Hey man,
Yeah.
Hey, you got to catch some shots.
Hey, he caught that shot, came right back, and the one thing that I liked is how he placed it. It's kind of like he threw the left hook. His guard was up, and then he snuck that other shot right in there. So yeah, I mean, look, I was shocked on it, but overall, I think it was great.
Yo, this is what I'm dealing with right now. That's my young boy. That's Mango. That's my young boy Mango. Yo, he big as shit. Yo.
This boy done fuck my coffee up and everything, man. Look at this shit. The whole cup holder coming with this motherfucker, man.
All right, so he hooked with the hooker. Mm-hmm. That's a rule in boxing.
Yeah,
This
you don't
top
hook
5
with a
rule.
hooker.
You don't hook with a hooker.
Right.
All right, what did you see, man?
I like how, when he hooked with him, Dev sat on that shit. So it's like he didn't just throw an arm punch. Like he sat down, he torqued his body a little bit, and when he threw.
And wait, that shit came off the break though, Rob.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
So give me the thought process, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
that's cool.
I felt like that was a major point that they
after the clinch.
Yeah, right after the clinch. They both came in with the same mind.
Yeah. It's like I'm throwing the shit. Normally when they do a break, most fighters they tend to reset. So when they do a break, you get the little hops and shit, and then they go right back into the mix. So it seems like they were both in sync with what they wanted to throw. Dev, however, you could tell he practiced for that same shot. He was practicing for that left hand catch. You know what I mean? So when he threw the hook, kept his hand here, threw the hook. Even though it landed, like it kind of caught Norman's glove, he still had that mill of a second space in between to turn his right hand right over. Now, when you hook with a hooker and boom, you make contact, you got to go boom and then come back here or boom, come right here. He just went boom, caught it, and then boom, turned that shit right over. It was a great fucking shot. And also, he was already hurt from the original hook. He was already hurt from that. So his legs was gone.
Yeah. So that was the hook I was initially talking about. He hooked with the hooker, visibly hurt him.
Yeah, I know what you were saying.
Then he came over and then followed it up with the hook.
He follows it with the rest.
With the flush right hand. Right hand, that shit was pretty.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. But now with that round, Dev could have actually got him out of there that round. The only thing is that Dev went crazy, went headhunting. He went nuts trying to get him out of there. He was headhunting. And that's so common in boxing. Like when you got a fighter hurt, they always go headshots, all pause. So instead of just going right into the body, open the body, go right back up top, you're kind of overwhelming the body. It makes sense what I'm saying? So if a person just throwing all shots up top, I could just brace, I could catch, I could hold, I could do whatever it is I got to do, and I'm going to hold them. But if they're going body and he punching, it's like I got to do a lot. But my brain is already rattled from the original shot.
That's a good point.
So I'm like all over the place. So that's why they normally say clinch. But one thing I noticed that Norman did that was stupid was when he got hit with the shot, he kind of gave him a post. He gave like Dev a post. Like you don't do that. Why would you post? His arms are clearly longer than yours. So you don't want to post when shots keep coming over and you're still hurt. So I don't know. I think it was a great performance by Dev, hands down. I still don't have the answer to the question I was looking for was what happens when he gets hit. He did get hit in the 10th, but he did something incredibly smart where he backed up a little bit. He didn't overstep. He didn't do excessive movements. He just stepped back a little bit, recouped, and then went right back into the game plan. So it was solid. What I didn't like too, Norman Sr. really didn't have much to say in that corner. Like, I understand you trying to hype your son up. I understand you trying to tell him what to do and everything. But it was kind of like that one fight where he said, I don't know, man. You got to figure it out. Yeah. Remember that one fight?
Yeah.
That's the type of time I thought it was on. Like, it was, I don't know. Something's got to give. But that's about it.
as far as Dev F 147, I know you said you didn't see what happens when he gets hit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what they say, if you don't have the best chin, not saying that Dev, I don't think Dev is chinny, but if you don't have the best chin, then your defense better be fucking tight.
Yeah.
And his defense was tight.
It was.
So how do you think his body felt at 100?
Yeah, because we didn't talk for the
we
weigh-in,
didn't
right?
check. Yeah,
I was at the fights on Friday. I thought he looked great, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like when I saw it, that's where it had me like, oh man, I should change my fucking pick. Like the way he was looking, and it was like that stare down got to go in top 10 stare downs of history. Like that shit was crazy. But I think physique wise, yeah, he looked the part. He definitely was ready. His game plan was solid. You know, everybody did a good job.
Lived up to the name Debo Duff.
Can I give him that name though?
Hey.
Because Debo
He
walks
punched on.
you down.
He punched
Debo,
on a puncher.
I know. But Debo walks you down. Remember when he hit Reds with the uppercut? Like he walked Reds down. You know
All right, so
what
you
I'm
saying so is Debo Craig then? Is Dev Craig?
Yeah, but I don't want to call him Craig. I like the Debo. I kind of like Debo. I like Debo. I ain't gonna lie. Debo's a dope name.
All right, where do you think he goes from there?
Select carefully. You know, he got a 3-time divisional champion. You're already in the books. You know, 147. He said he's going to stay here for a long time. He doesn't want to go up in weight. I mean, let's really talk about who's at 47. We got Barrios, but Barrios and then Ryan's fighting, and then you have Lewis Crocker. Then you have Rolly Romero. So I say just be cautious. You know what I'm saying? If anything, Lewis Crocker. Take his shit. Now you got 2 titles, unified. And then you just got to worry about, could it be crazy to watch, what if Ryan win? What if Ryan beat Barrios and they all have to fight for each other's belt? That'd be crazy.
I mean, that's look like where it's going. I'm not sure.
That'd
I'm
be
not
dope.
sure that Ryan can beat Barrios, and I'm not sure that Barrios can beat Ryan.
It's a weird fight.
Yeah.
That's a strange
First
fight.
off, it's a fight that none of us fucking asked for. So
Yeah,
let's start
I
with
don't
that.
think. Yeah, I don't think that he. You know, I'm not gonna say he's not deserving of that fight.
He's not fucking deserving of the fight.
I understand what you're saying. I don't never want to point the fingers of a fighter to say you don't deserve this fight, but it's kind of like you really don't.
You ain't got a point. I'm pointing for you.
You understand what I'm
You
saying?
tested hot, and then Rolly beat your ass.
Yeah.
How do you get a title shot?
Let's forget about the ban.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what people gonna say about Sabrio with the same shit. So
People are selective with their bullshit.
yeah, true. It is what it is.
Here, my man Lawrence Smalls. What's good with you, Al?
What's going on, good brother? How you?
Oh, man, I'm chilling, man. Seem like you riding high, man.
Yeah.
You had a really good year this year, yo.
Yeah, we had a good year, man. You know what I mean? Good experiences, good wins. You know what I mean? Doing real good, man.
It seemed like you about to retake over a division that you already took over.
Yeah.
Your son Tamir Smalls, WBA is Continental champion, so now he's ranked in the top 15 in the world, number 11.
Yeah.
How do you see everything going for him, like, going forward?
I mean, right now, man, I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? We at it. We on it. You know what I mean? Next year, we making all statements. You know what I mean? We calling them all out, man. You know what I mean? We trying to get everybody, you know what I mean, beneath us. You know what I mean? Everybody that's, that's on top of us. We go from WBO, WBC, IBF, you know what I mean, WBA. We trying to take over all that, man.
Which fights make the most sense? He's coming off of beating a guy that was coming off of a really good win. He's passed every step up, like the last 4 fights. So, like, in your mind, like, what route makes the most sense?
I mean, the WBA. You know what I mean? We coming for the WBA. We want to go that route. You know what I mean? We want to take over that. We want to win that motherfucking title. We want to win that, you know what I mean? Win that championship title. And then, we going after everything else. WBO, you know what I mean? I like that little one Dev got. You know what I mean? We on that. You know what I mean? We on that. We on that Dev. You know what I mean? WBC, they gonna try to keep everything in house. You know what I mean? But we going after it all, man. You know what I mean? We gonna try to, we locking that. Everybody keep talking about this and that. You know what I mean? With the the welterweight, the 147. You know what I mean? The ghost is one ghost gone, the other they don't know, the other ghost is right back. You know what I mean? And we gonna take over that joint, man.
All right, so the WBA, that's rolling, right? I know you watched the fight with Ryan. Where do you feel like Ty could be successful at against a fight with Rolly?
With Rolly?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we successful with any of them jokers, man. You know what I mean? First of all, you know what I mean? You know, his boxing skills. You know what I mean? You know, the reach. You know what I mean? The jab, the range, and the power. You know what I mean? We can match any other power. We can match any welterweight power. You know what I mean? We stronger than that, almost all of them. You know, the jab, we can outbox any of them. You know what I mean? And you know, just the IQ, man.
Have we seen the best possible Tamir Smalls?
No, not at all. Not at all. You know what I mean? With Romain, you know what I mean? You know, it was his first turnaround. You know what I mean? It was at home. You know what I mean? You know, and he put on a good performance. You know what I mean? But he was a little too anxious. You know what I mean? You know, and then the movement and all that. You know what I mean? You know, we got the movement. You know what I mean? You know, and you know, it was what it was. You know what I mean? You know, we got through it. You know what I mean? It was his first turnaround. He was worried about the rounds because, you know, as you know, he's been knocking everybody out. So, you know, he wanted to make sure he can do the rounds and he didn't want to throw himself out even after that third round when he dropped him. You know, so he ain't want to burn himself out. You know what I mean? But told him from now, I mean, you know, he know what he got to do now. You know what I mean? So right now we waiting for 10, 12. We waiting for anything, man. We waiting for all that.
Now, you recently signed with Eddie Hearn. So Louis Crocker signed with Eddie Hearn. He has the IBF. Shakram Giasov, who signed to Eddie Hearn, he's the Rolando Romero's mandatory. So any of those fights make sense for 2026, 2027?
All of them make sense. We want all that. We want all that, man. I'm telling you. We want all that. We definitely want Giasov, you know what I mean? We want the IBF, you know what I mean, present itself. We want, they sent us, you know what I mean? We want Curiel, you know what I mean? You know, I see he's doing real good over there at the WBC. I know him and Roker got a, you know, they got him and Roker got a rematch. You know what I mean? You know, all these jokers, man. I mean, everybody that makes sense, we going after it, man. Everybody that makes sense. I don't care who it is. I see Ryan Garcia in the mix. You know, like I said, Dev got a good win. You know what I mean? We want to knock on his door.
Conor Ben's talking about coming back down to 47.
Conor Ben, that'd be perfect. You know what I mean? We want it all, man. We want it all. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you, you know what I mean? We gonna be the ghost that they ain't never see. You know what I mean? We gonna go be the ghost that they ain't never see. And I definitely be coming. And we definitely gonna make a statement.
Are you willing to travel to the UK for that Conor Ben fight?
We willing to go anywhere. You know what I mean? We willing to go anywhere. We just out there. You know what I mean? With Jack Catterall. You know what I mean? You know, we definitely go out there. Definitely go out there.
Okay. Speaking of the division, Saturday, Devin Haney, of course, defeated Bryant Jennings Jr. What'd you think of the performance?
I mean, I liked it. You know what I mean? It was just what I expected. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. It was what I expected. My son Ty did the same thing that Bryant Norman did when we sparred. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know, we did the same thing. But like I said, you know what I mean? We got the style. You know what I mean? We probably got the only style that'll beat Dev. We probably got the only style, you know what I mean, in that 147 that'll beat Dev.
Now, Ty, one of the best jabs in the division, but also has the pop at the end of it, right? In that fight, you saw Devin have a lot of success. In a fight with Bryant Norman, would you feel like that pocket where he hurt him in the second, Ty would get him out of there?
He would have got him out of there. It would have been over, you know what I mean? Because he would have finished him. Because see the difference, you know, again, you know what I mean? You know, Dev, you know, he did what he needed to do, you know what I mean? But Dev still ain't got that, you know what I mean? He still ain't pushing that play. He still ain't pushing play, you know what I mean? You know, we pushing all play. We getting all smoke. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We getting hurt. You know what I mean? We going after it. You see what it was with Romain. You know what I mean? You know, once we get that, and I guarantee you, you know what I mean? Norman wouldn't recover after that.
Now, you say you saw this coming, right? What are some of the things that you saw, some of the weaknesses you saw in Bryant Norman that would lead you to believe that Devin will have that kind of success?
I mean, because I know Dev a smart fighter. He got that jab. And Bryant Norman can't get around the jab. He couldn't get around the jab. He don't know how. He only know how to fight one way, and that's straightforward. You know what I mean? So, you know, and that's his fight. You know what I mean? That's how he was when he sparred. That's when he fight. You know what I mean? If you ain't in front of him, you you know what I mean, then ain't nothing he can do. He can't move side to side. You know what I mean? He ain't got no lateral movement. He did the same thing to everybody else. That's why he couldn't hit that with the hook. He jump in, he fall in with every shot. He keep throwing that jump left hook. You know what I mean? You know, Dev kept jumping back from it, which was good. He got out of the way of it. You know what I mean? But a real motherfucking fighter, you know what I mean? He would have came up under it, you know what I mean, and clipped him. You know what I mean? That's how he should have did it.
Tamir Smalls, Devin Haney, 2027?
For sure. You know what I mean? Shit, the end of 26. You know what I mean? If Eddie do what he's supposed to do, you know what I mean? You know, we get these jokers out of here, you know what I mean, the first quarter of 26. You know what I mean? Shit. I mean, we you know what I mean, around this time right here, you know what I mean? Shit, we be knocking on this door, man.
Here my man B.Y. Jennings. What's good, man?
What's up, man? Everything good, you know?
I'm chilling, yo. What's up with you?
Not much, man. Just came from over London, working with Derek. You know, fight got canceled between him and Dylan White. So.
Oh shit, they were supposed to rumble?
Yeah, they was definitely supposed to rumble. But you know, it was something that somebody didn't like, so technically things didn't go the way that the way that they wanted it to go. So they, you know, they're gonna reschedule it though.
Is the UK like your second home? I know you spend a lot of time out there.
Yeah, UK is my safe space. So whenever I'm there, I really get to think. Like right now, I got like a bunch of things like written down that I started to ponder on, and like it's like plans and goals, and so like I can only get this type of clarity, when I'm away from home, more so in the UK.
Now, for you, had a really, really good career. You fought the best. You're not officially retired, right?
No, it's crazy.
So, like, what's your status, B?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm ready, and I'm ready for more now than before. I ain't gonna say ever, but more now than before. Because before, it's just like I'll do it if somebody interested or whatever, because it's like I really just got like a natural ability to stay. Wow. I
really had to get on the seat and get on his tippy toes now.
Yeah, I really got natural ability to just do things at a high level. And what I see now is it's not something that's actually pushing me away, so easily. It's not something that I feel like it don't need me or it can't use me. And then with like a situation like with this Riyadh season thing and all that stuff like that, and like taking it over there, man, taking it over there is something that I gotta do that. I need that.
Now, B, you're a devout Muslim. Like, what is it like seeing, like huge, massive events in a place that I would imagine you've always wanted to visit, being that's in the region where the religion was started?
Right, yeah. So 2019, I actually attended, the Joshua and Ruiz, the rematch, and Riyadh's beautiful. Right, and then even before like COVID messed a lot of things up. Because before COVID, it was this thing where I was speaking with a couple of the guys, big heavy hitters down there, and I was in the tip like, all right, well look, I had just got the fight scratched, from what was that, for the COVID stuff, and like for me not doing the COVID the Oscar Rivas joint or whatever, and I was like, all right, look, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna do something good. So I was like, look, let me go over here, study the religion, learn the language, and I can also be a trainer or whatever. And they liked the idea because technically they didn't have no real solid people that was really like representing the boxing thing, because Riyadh was like it's like the new boxing thing. Yeah. Yes. Give it to me. Yeah, back to our regular schedule program. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Like you said, it's like the capital. It's kind of like the capital of boxing. Like it used to be Las Vegas.
At this point, yes.
Yeah, but right now, within the last couple of years, Riyadh is the capital.
Right, at this point, yes. You see it, yeah. So it's the capital. But like I say, I had opportunities to visit. I had opportunities to, almost, some almost things that's going on. And I need that. I need that. And I see how the Muslim community is embracing, a lot of Muslim fighters. And it's not about prioritizing them or playing favoritism. It really is just about cultivating exactly what we stand for as Muslims. So these are some things that you know, us as Muslims, you know, we do a good job. You know, when it comes to fighting, when it comes to conducting ourselves, when it comes to representing the whole, you know, a whole belief, you know, a whole religion, you know, and I need that because technically, when it comes to a lot of different influences around the boxing game, you know, I still could hold myself at a high space. You know, when it comes to like the fans, when it comes to other people, I don't really, I mean, but when it comes to like fighters, if it's a fighter circle, you be like, yeah, I get my respect, I get mine where it's due, you know. So, you know, these are some of the things that keep me right there to be like, hey, I still got to get that. I need that.
For me, it's beautiful because when you go out to Cali, you go out to Vegas. Of course, you know, it's a lot of Mexicans in that area. So when you're a Mexican fighter, you performing out there,
right,
you get a lot of love. You go out to the UK, you in Wembley, you from the UK, a lot of love, right?
Right.
It's beautiful to see y'all. You know, even though y'all Americans, you're not from Saudi, but go out there and get standing ovations. Right. And it's like it's now the home for the Muslim fighter, not only just for other fighters, but the home for the Muslim fighter.
Yeah, right. And it's something different when it comes to boxing. It's something new, and when it comes to accepting, you know, Riyadh season, Turkey Al-Sheikh, you know, it's like hey, let's put on our Muslim fighters so they can accept us more, so they can see how we are supposed to perform and how we're supposed to act and, you know, behave through, you know, see how they are supposed to act and behave through us, you know, because technically somebody might see, you know, Saudi with the, you know, with the hair wrap on and all that, and the only thing they think, oh, billionaire and oil and Taliban and all that. It'd be like, no, bro, like this is what we represent. And you know, it's a lot of miseducation and it's a lot of uneducated people in the world, or in America basically, or in the world that don't know about, you know, the details of Islam, the details of being a Muslim and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that putting this on the forefront and putting other Muslims such as myself, you know, on in a way where we can represent this shit, you know, it's good. Look at me, that's crazy. Stuff.
Speaking of Muslim fighters in Riyadh season, your Muslim brother Devin Haney just got a victory in Riyadh season against Bryant Norman. What's your thoughts on the fight?
Norman was outclassed, and the crazy thing is Norman put up a good talk. You know, he was doing a lot of good antics, but I guess he just wasn't good enough to be able to put up good enough of a fight to be able to say, okay, I belong here. I might not have won, but I belong here. But it literally was like a complete outclass situation. And then to think that this was the same person talking about boots, like what, boy? Like, nah, I didn't see anything that would pose a point within like the higher level or the next level. I mean, even, you know, what he showed in Devon, it's like that's the next level right there. But he didn't. He was outclassed big time.
Did it shock you that Dev sat him down?
No, listen, Dev always been nice. How about that? He's always been nice, but it's just that he had like certain circumstances in his career that, you know, it kind of like chipped away at who he was to people because of how he might have reacted or how the fight went and how things was just like transpiring and stuff like that. So, you know, it was a lot of things. So he had something to prove. You know, and the fact that he had something to prove was like, hey, he was capable of doing that. You know, even though, you know, Dev is not necessarily like the puncher, but motherfucker always box, you know, like a complete game, you know. And so, yeah, that nigga up. But yeah, I think that I think that I wasn't too surprised, you know. Now if it would have been like it was like a flash, not a flash dream, but it was a good draw, and he caught him clean.